Hey guys, welcome back to Unfiltered American Media. Caroline here, great to see you. Let's dive right in.
So Republicans just got some really solid news. The first early voting data from New Jersey just dropped, and the numbers, they're looking great for Republicans. Now, back in 2024, New Jersey ended up being way closer than anyone thought possible. President Trump only lost that reliably blue state by about 5%. That's nothing. In the past, we've seen gaps of 10 or 20 points, and you're like, all right, we'll come back another time. But 5%? That was shockingly close. So Republicans are seriously closing the gap, and we're diving into this today because New Jersey has a real election coming up. We've got an actual competition on our hands now, guys. In just a few weeks, this thing gets decided.
One of only two off-year gubernatorial races this fall, and it's seen as a bellwether ahead of next year's midterms. As William Brangham reports, after President Trump made inroads with some voters of color in the last election, they've continued to be a major focus for both candidates in this close race.
Outside MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, football fans are hyped for a fierce cross-state rivalry. The Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. Gentlemen. Among the crowd is Republican gubernatorial hopeful Jack Ciattarelli, an equal opportunity campaigner. Go Birds. This former state legislator narrowly lost the last governor's race 4 years ago to incumbent Democrat Phil Murphy. This year, he's hoping to build on President Trump's surprisingly strong showing in the state in 2024 and focusing on the cost of living.
Property taxes, electricity bills, housing, and child care for families with young children. We got to fix all that across New Jersey. It's becoming unaffordable and the middle class is getting crushed.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
That message is also central for Ciattarelli's opponent, Democratic Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill.
For too long, we've just seen prices going up and up and up. As someone who's served this country my entire life, I now want to fight incredibly hard for families here in New Jersey.
Sherrill is a former Navy helicopter pilot and federal prosecutor who won a seat in Congress in a swing northern New Jersey district during the blue wave election of 2018. And like she did back then, she's hoping to make President Trump a key issue in this campaign.
People are furious that Trump's tariffs and the One Big Beautiful Bill are driving up their costs. That is really angering people across the state.
While Donald Trump lost New Jersey last year, he dramatically improved his numbers compared to his last run.
Nowhere was that swing more dramatic than here in Passaic County, and this reflected a larger national trend for Trump. This county has the largest share of Latinos anywhere in the state, and Trump boosted his margins here by 19 points, making him the first Republican to win this county since the early 1990s.
Angel Castillo runs El Primito in Passaic, a Dominican restaurant started by his family more than 30 years ago. Once a Democrat, now a Republican, he supports Ciattarelli. He says the high cost of utilities, which has nearly doubled for his restaurant, is squeezing his bottom line.
I always tell people, we always like the same, and we expect different results. And to me, it's like, let's give somebody else a try.
Ciattarelli visited El Primito in August, part of his push to capitalize on Trump's inroads with minority communities. Castillo immigrated from the Dominican Republic as a kid and voted for Trump last year.
Some people are a little concerned about Trump's immigration policy, grabbing people off the streets, sometimes people who are here legally. Does that bother you at all?
It doesn't bother me because I have people approach me like, oh, how can you still like Trump? I go, listen, I believe every country has the right to enforce.
So we're watching a trend develop in New Jersey that's got to have Democrats nervous. Jack Ciattarelli almost pulled off an upset in 2021 as a Republican when nobody gave him a real shot. But now, Republicans nationwide are in a way stronger position, and Trump's closed that presidential gap significantly. So there's legitimate reason to think Republicans could actually take this race, especially looking at the early voting numbers. The early voting data in New Jersey, oh my gosh, it's showing Republicans clearly overperforming. Let's go. Yes, that's exciting stuff right there. Look, I get it. This doesn't guarantee a win. I don't want to jinx anything or get ahead of ourselves, but it's definitely a major confidence boost. It's a really positive sign, similar to what we felt on election night 2024. Republicans should be feeling optimistic, and Democrats, they should be sweating about this ongoing government shutdown because it might be costing them votes every single day. If this trend holds, New Jersey's political map could look completely different by the time all the ballots are counted. And what's really striking? Traditionally, Democrat-heavy counties are showing way smaller Democratic margins than just a few years ago. That's massive. That's a huge red flag for the Democratic machine because they depend on those areas being locked down. The fact that it's slipping is wild to me. Republicans are making real gains in suburban and rural counties. Jack Ciattarelli's campaign has been laser focused on issues like taxes, school curriculum transparency, and crime. And clearly, these issues are hitting home with voters who think the state's gone way too far left under Democratic control. Meanwhile, Democrats are floundering. Their messaging is all over the place, and their candidates can't defend Governor Phil Murphy's record while people are dealing with skyrocketing costs of living and frustrating state bureaucracy. Because, newsflash, the modern Democratic Party is a disaster. People are figuring it out. They're like, oh, wait, we really don't want this.
Jersey Democrat hopeful Mikey Sherrill hoping for a boost from Democrat powerhouses as Republican Jack Ciattarelli closes in with just weeks in the New Jersey election. It is one of the hottest elections in the country.
New Jersey GOP Congressman Jeff Van Drew joining us now. Congressman, what do you make of this race? Mikey Sherrill obviously trying to get some closers from Governor Whitmer to Obama's endorsement. And then, of course, she's hitting the streets with the No Kings protesters.
I tell you what I make of it. We're going to win. We are going to win this thing, and I can give you all the reasons why. And bringing in, the political elite, the political cool people is not going to do it. It's not going to connect with the people of the state of New Jersey. They have no idea what's really going on in New Jersey. You know what's going on in New Jersey? We're paying more for taxes, tolls, fees. We're paying way more for utility bills. We're tired of paying for a sanctuary state and all that goes along with that. We're tired of putting criminals back on the street over and over again with liberal prosecutors. We are just sick and tired of it all. And you know what else we're tired of, by the way? Interfering with children and their parents in schools. It's enough. And it's even more than Republican and Democrat. It's just a return to normalcy. New Jersey is a funny state. Yeah, we're a blue state. But by the way, let me say this. Just see, 200,000, probably close to 250,000 people now have changed over to Republican. It used to be a difference of well over 1 million more Democrats than Republicans, and now it's down to 800,000. And by the way, in my district, it's a big part of it. We've almost turned 50,000 people over from Democrat to Republican. So there is a lot in there. And I'll finally wrap up with this. Jack Ciattarelli is within, according to the polls, actually I think he's winning, but according to the polls, he's within single digits. Last time, when he just about won it, he was a whisper away. He was supposedly double digits out in the polls. Wow. Republicans don't poll that well. It's going to be a big victory for Jack Ciattarelli, for Republicans, most of all for New Jerseyans who are worn out with.
Jack Ciattarelli is in position to potentially beat Phil Murphy in the upcoming election. And a lot of that advantage is coming from momentum and voter motivation. These factors are showing up in really strong early voting data. That's seriously encouraging. Now, obviously, you've got to keep pushing. This trend could totally shift the wrong way. We'll see what happens. But if this holds, whoa, we might actually win New Jersey, guys. That's a huge deal. Huge. Because eventually Trump's going to finish dealing with all these foreign conflicts, showing strength against China, telling them no, stay out of Venezuela. Knock it off. And he's going to shift his focus back home. And one of those big priorities, voter integrity. Having conservative governors makes that mission so much easier. Like Victor Marks, I'm going to start plugging him because I really want to get him on the show. We reached out a few days ago, got some positive responses. Nothing's locked down yet, but I'm definitely excited to talk to him about his governor race in Colorado. Him and Jack in New Jersey, when you've got conservative governors, it makes accomplishing things nationally way easier. They're more likely to help tackle issues like getting rid of Dominion voting machines, ditching electronic voting systems for paper ballots counted by hand, same-day voting only. Let's make it happen. It's really exciting. It feels like there's a genuine shift happening. Could it go sideways? Sure. But momentum is seriously underrated, and it can make all the difference in a state like New Jersey where races get decided by pretty slim margins. Republicans are riding a wave of enthusiasm that's been building since 2024. This cycle's being fueled by frustration with Democratic policies at both the state and national levels. Early voting numbers, rallies, grassroots organizing like Turning Point, and shoot, I can't remember this other guy's name. He's got crazy long hair and runs something called the Resistance or something like that, I think. He's just a grassroots organizer who goes door to door saying, hey, we want you to vote for this Republican candidate. He's been super persistent. I think he's actually been in New Jersey regularly knocking on doors, talking to people like, hey, we want you to vote for Jack. And it's just really encouraging to see this kind of energy, people stepping up to promote conservative values even at the state level. That's awesome and comforting to see. All these organizations point to a party that's energized, disciplined, focused, and pumped about converting that energy into actual votes. This kind of momentum doesn't just create excitement, though. I'm definitely excited. You can feel it, but it actively boosts turnout. When people hear, hey, vote for this, you see what Trump's doing, you want more of that here, everyone's like, heck yeah, sign me up. It's contagious. In elections, high turnout from motivated voters is usually what decides things, and right now, Republicans in New Jersey are showing all the signs of a fired-up base. Ultimately, Jack's path to victory isn't just about policy debates. It's about building on the movement President Trump created in the 2024 campaign, that sense of inevitability and urgency. And if Jack can tap into that momentum, it could very well tip the scales in his favor and deliver a Republican win in New Jersey by taking down Phil Murphy. So what do you guys think? Is this going to happen or not? Genuine question. Let me know down in the comments below. That's my take. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. I do read them all. Thank you so much for watching Unfiltered America Media. I'm Caroline, your host. Stay strong, stay free, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.